Hello everyone, it's John and I am a physical education and health teacher, and I am going to give you this presentation about how I'm going to use Flipgrid as a feedback method for my students. So, Flipgrid was created by an associate professor at the University of Minnesota, and he wanted to design a platform that he could ask questions to his students and get responses to them from a distance, which is basically kind of how most Minnesota teachers and teachers throughout the country are going to be teaching this year, at least starting out this year with distance and hybrid learning. So this tool was, like I said, created by, has some Minnesota connections, which I thought was neat. And so like I said before, I'll be using it for 9-12 PE and health, and as an online feedback method. So Flipgrid is 100% free for all educators, students, and families, and students can be engaged in online learning and using their voice in an online classroom. So they can use it at home by recording and sharing these short videos. And educators and learners can experience student voice feedback in these settings. So students can reflect upon questions provided by teachers and discuss and showcase what they're learning by making videos, and also more specifically for physical education would be me explaining the skill to the students and having them repeat the steps needed to perform that skill successfully. And I thought there are of some ways that students can give basically their knowledge, present their cognitive knowledge without even using equipment. So for instance, I made a Flipgrid video, and I also mentioned the acronym BEEF, which is for basketball, and it's balance, eyes, elbow, and follow through. So students would start out by getting in an athletic position, right? Balance, getting their eyes focused on the target, which could be the hoop, and then their elbow, keeping their elbow in, and then following through. So those are 4 steps. So just an example of how I can give these teachings, and students can give their feedback, and I can it can allow me to help them understand what is needed and how they can perform these steps correctly. So good, and through this students can build social confidence also while improving their technological skills, which is always a good thing. And also it could be a way for them to express themselves creatively. So let's say that also educators would have full control of these grids and videos, and it's an established and safe platform to use, and also families can record from home, and also give feedback, so parents and teachers can use this as a way to communicate. So so some of the other things that can be utilized with Flipgrid is that teachers and students can upload photos and videos, trim clips. Also, they can include a whiteboard, and with many different video styles, text, emojis, and much more. So for a remote learning experience, I would create a grid for my classroom or group, and post a discussion topic to get them started and add more topics over time. So I'd share my Flipgrid link or code with students and encourage students to be creative in their responses and to collaborate outside of the classroom. So they could work in partner groups or in teams of 3 plus and more. So one thing I will do to get my curriculum started using Flipgrid would be to start using Flipgrid even before the first in-person meeting with students. This can be a way to introduce myself to students, and as also be a way for the students to introduce themselves to me. So I would invite the students to use Flipgrid to gauge their experience and knowledge on the general course content of Phy-Ed and health, and then use Flipgrid as a way to ask them about their feelings of past experiences. So I would gather these suggestions and see where we would go in the future. So like I said, another way I could use this as a feedback method model. And students, after they get started using Flipgrid, making videos, they can practice describing what they learned. So, and then by, like I said before, explaining what they learned back in these fun videos. So there's other things I could do after viewing the videos. I can indicate areas where they would maybe need some more clarification in regards to specific skills. And then students can also use their voice to bounce back. So this would be a great way for me to find ways to improve my curriculum through online and online learning. So what I need to do here is just find out more about my school's Phy-Ed curriculum, so I can prepare to create videos based upon the specific units and skills needed for the learning objectives and outcomes. And so we'll find out how to infuse it in with an LMS system such as Schoology, and then also as part of the Flipgrid, and how I would use it for the assignments could be for students to create daily video journals, weekly reflections, explanations, demonstrations, mini presentations, and projects. So through a social feedback assessment, I would build feedback by highlighting students' videos in classes, and encourage students to provide this feedback also in response to the grid. And students will be able to evaluate their own work, and in a Flipgrid video discussing what they would possibly do differently the next time. So this could also encourage creativity and include other academic areas in their work. So using Flipgrid will help me to basically establish the Phy-Ed standards and objectives within lessons. And so, for example, the physically literate student, an individual can demonstrate competency for a variety of motor skills and movement patterns. So these are different ways that will be able to use this online platform to make sure that the Minnesota State standards and objectives are met. So on the Flipgrid's website, there's a number of do's and don'ts and for teachers, and they're pretty self-explanatory. And so there's also a consent form that can just be printed off and basically spells out everything as far as Flipgrid and its privacy policy statements, and etc. So I was able to create a Flipgrid video. I created a topic. I was able to get the link code, and I established a video and link on the Canvas infrastructure. And so please view that video if you have some time, and if you'd like to respond, that'd be great. Thank you very much for viewing this presentation. I'll try to keep this under 10 minutes. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the summer, and get ready here for this school year coming up. Here we go. Thank you.